Number 10. PnB Rock. The rapper and singer was tragically murdered on the 12th of September after he was shot while dining at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in LA with his girlfriend. LAPD Captain Kelly Muniz told The Times later that day that the intruder shot the victim and ran out the side door to a getaway car and then fled the parking lot. The attacker first demanded jewelry and other valuables before getting into a struggle with the rapper and opening fire. Rock, whose real name was Rakeem Allen, was rushed to the hospital where he died just before 2 p.m. While the attack might have been planned, many people believe it occurred as a result of the rapper being tagged online, as his exact location was shared on the internet via Instagram by his girlfriend just minutes before he was attacked. Born on the 9th of December in 1991, Rock was inspired to make music at age 19 after hearing Drake's iconic album Take Care. His ability to blend melodies with his rapping made his future in hip-hop extremely promising, and it wasn't long before he captured the world's attention with his musical talent. His murder was a senseless tragedy and is still under investigation right now. Loving this video so far? Please hit that like button, it would really help us out. Number 9. Ray Liotta. Deadline reported on May the 26th that the Goodfellas star had passed away in his sleep at the age of 67, leaving behind his daughter Carson and his fiancée JC. Ray's last post on Instagram has since been flooded with rest in peace messages from fans. The New Jersey native was born in 1954 and adopted at the age of 6 months old out of an orphanage. Interestingly enough, he always assumed that he was Italian, but when he found his birth parents later in life, he discovered that he's actually Scottish. But he did do an impeccable job at playing a lot of Italian-American characters throughout his career, with his breakout role being in the 1990 Martin Scorsese crime classic Goodfellas. Ray's acting career also had a big resurgence in recent years, with films like The Many Saints of Newark, Marriage Story, and No Sudden Move. He won a Primetime Emmy in 2005 for his guest stint on ER, and was a 2-time SAG Award nominee for the 2015 miniseries Texas Rising, so he leaves behind an incredible legacy. Number 8. Queen Elizabeth II. She was the reigning monarch of the United Kingdom and 15 other Commonwealth realms. She died on September the 8th at the age of 96. Her coronation took place on June the 2nd, 1953 at Westminster Abbey, and for the first time ever was televised, allowing people around the world to witness the event. The Queen's 70-year reign was mostly peaceful, despite vast changes across her country over the decades. Queen Elizabeth surpassed her great-great-grandmother Queen Victoria to become the longest-living British monarch on December the 21st of 2007, and has been portrayed many times in pop culture. Buckingham Palace released a statement confirming her passing, saying the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The news was shocking to the world, as Elizabeth has been around for almost everybody's lifetime and was revered around the world, even outlasting 12 US presidents. She was a tremendously popular and influential figure in her lifetime and stood for stability and order of the crown. Her son, formerly known as Prince Charles, has now stepped up and taken the throne as Britain's new reigning monarch.
At number 7, we have Sam Hunt. Now, it's never a good idea to cheat on your spouse. However, we can argue that sometimes there are certain times worse than others. And Sam Hunt cheating on his wife just months before she was due to give her first child, it's one of those times. In papers his wife filed back in May, Hannah cited that Sam was found guilty of inappropriate marital conduct and adultery. TMZ would also report that within her filing, Hannah also checked a box reading that the husband is guilty of such cruel and inhumane treatment or conduct towards the spouse as renders cohabitation unsafe or improper. Now, the divorce papers were filed just a few months before she was due for having her child and the couple's 5-year wedding anniversary. Hannah is now looking to receive child support, alimony, and primary custody of the couple's child. At number 6, we have Angelina Purvinek. Jersey Shore star Angelina Purvinek had a secret affair for 2 years behind her husband Chris's back. Insiders have said that Angelina has been dating New Jersey native Joseph Tarallo throughout much of her marriage to Chris before he filed for divorce back in January. Joe and Angelina started seeing each other back in 2020 and immediately started to spend more time together. Apparently, she was barely going home, and it caused a lot of trouble for her and Chris's relationship. When Chris learned about the relationship, he immediately moved out of the house just before the holiday season, and then he would give her another chance. However, she continued to see Joe, and it caused Chris to file for a divorce. At number 5, we have Liam Payne. Now, Liam Payne landed himself into hot water after his fiancée, Maya Henry, discovered that Liam had cheated on her after an Instagram fan account posted a picture of Liam with Aliana Mala. The images that were originally shared to Aliana's Instagram story included one photo of Liam wrapping his hands around Aliana's back. In a series of photos that would show the two holding hands, Maya would then comment on the photo to say, "I love all the fans so much, but please stop sending me these pictures of my fiance wrapped around another woman. This is not me, and it's hard enough knowing that this happened without seeing it. Now, Liam didn't take too kindly for being outed for being unfaithful, nor being referred to Maya as her fiance, and his agent would then later say that Maya's comments referring to Liam as her fiance are untrue and misleading. At number 4, we have Tristan Thompson. So since Chloe and Tristan started dating back in 2016, the couple has been consistently on and off. However, in the beginning of the year, Tristan would propose to Chloe, and the two would be secretly engaged for 9 months, and they even revealed that they were going to have a second child. Now, around this time, Marley Nichols would come out to say that she was also pregnant with Tristan's child, and that he had to take full responsibility for his actions. At first, Tristan did what he always tries to do, and he tried to deny the rumors, but after a paternity test proved that he was the father, the NBA player would then come out to say, "Today the paternity test results revealed that I am the father of Marley Nichols' child," and he went to acknowledge that he hurt Chloe, who he was still dating at the time when his newborn was conceived.
Number 3, Anne Heche. The actress rose to prominence on the soap opera Another World, and she passed away at 53 after being involved in a fiery single car crash in LA on August the 5th. According to a coroner's report, Anne died from smoke inhalation and burns. She was in a coma for a week before being taken off life support on August the 14th. News of her car accident and subsequent death really shook Hollywood to its core, as Anne was much beloved in the industry. Her peers came forward recalling her contributions to not only cinema, but to the LGBTQ+ community. Director Nathan Scoggins, who worked with her in one of her last films, said, "Anne held nothing back, in life or in performance. She was fearless, going too far in some takes just to make sure she went far enough. But you can't love without trust, and she loved with her whole heart." Anne had famously dated Ellen DeGeneres, who expressed her sadness at her ex-girlfriend's passing and tweeted, "This is a sad day. I'm sending Anne's children, family, and friends all of my love." Number 2, Tony Sirico. The New York native, best known for playing Tony Soprano's associate Paulie Walnuts on The Sopranos, died on the 8th of July at the age of 79. His former co-star Michael Imperioli wrote a loving message about his friend on Instagram, saying, "He was as tough, as loyal, and as big-hearted as anyone I've ever known. I was at his side through so much, through good times and bad, but mostly good, and we had a lot of laughs. I will miss him forever. He is truly irreplaceable." Tony had an incredible career, but he really rose to fame for his portrayal of Paulie on the hit series The Sopranos. His character was a loyal henchman for mob boss Tony Soprano, played by James Gandolfini, and even though the show was known for its unflinching depiction of violence, Paulie quickly became a fan favorite for adding moments of humor throughout the grim drama. His talents will certainly be missed. And coming in at number 1, Jesse Powell. The Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter has died at the age of 51, as his family announced on the 13th of September. According to his sisters Trina and Tamara Powell, Jesse passed away peacefully in his LA home. They released a statement saying, "It is with a heavy heart that we announce the passing of our beloved son, brother, and uncle Jesse Powell. The family remembered him as a man who loved music and was devoted to his fans." The statement concluded with, "We want you to know that you meant the world to him." Born in Gary, Indiana, the beloved artist was raised in a musical family that included his 2 younger sisters, who eventually became the popular late 90s R&B duo. Jesse himself became an overnight sensation in 1999 upon the release of his R&B track You. The song cracked the 2nd spot on the Billboard R&B chart and peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 at the time. He went on to release 4 albums throughout his career. Jesse was certainly one of the best R&B male vocalists in the industry, and he'll be remembered for his music.
First up on the list is a stunt pulled by Marlon Brando that is just as topical today as it was back in the early 1970s, 1973 to be exact. While Marlon Brando isn't the first person to decline their Oscar for various reasons, his snubbing of the ceremony following his iconic role in The Godfather was certainly one of the most memorable. Brando was considered a shoo-in for the winner of Best Actor, and he had already taken home the Best Actor statue once before for his role in the 1955 movie On the Waterfront. However, despite what many would consider this to be a huge honor for the actor, he decided to not even attend the ceremony. Instead, he sent Native American actor and activist Saheen Littlefeather on stage to decline the award on his behalf. He did it in protest of the way that Native Americans have been treated in the United States. The 1973 awards were the first time that the show had been broadcast internationally, and over 85 million people watched Littlefeather's passionate speech which came just a month into the standoff between Native American activists and the cops after police killed a Lakota man at the Wounded Knee Reserve in South Dakota. Next up on the list is the 1974 Academy Awards ceremony, when an English teacher named Robert Opel stripped down and ran on stage while Elizabeth Taylor was being introduced for an award. So Robert ran on stage completely naked and sprinted around for a bit. After the stunt had occurred, the host at the time quipped, quote, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was almost bound to happen." But isn't it fascinating to think that probably the only laugh that man will ever get in his life is by stripping off and showing his shortcomings? Luckily for Opel, he was able to evade arrest, probably because everyone thought the stunt was hilarious. Instead, he was invited backstage to explain himself. Turns out the streaking was part of Opel's commentary on the way society has become too conformist. Opel, who owned a Los Angeles gallery known for showcasing homoerotic art, also streaked at the Los Angeles City Council meeting. Next up on the list is a horrifyingly cringy musical number that actor Rob Lowe did with a Snow White impersonator. This happened during the 1989 Oscars, which was considered a year of many firsts. The first time the ceremony used the famous red carpet, first time the term, quote, "and the Oscar goes to" was used, and the first time the show didn't have a host. Instead of a host opening the awards, it was Rob Lowe and Snow White singing an 11-minute version of Tina Turner's track Proud Mary, with the lyrics tweaked to fit the show's theme. The performance was super awkward and cringy, but the scandal part comes from it also being illegal. The performance prompted Disney Studios to file a copyright infringement lawsuit against the Academy for using Snow White's image without permission. On top of that, a group of 17 heavyweight actors wrote in to write a scathing letter to the Academy, calling the performance an embarrassment to the people who were nominated. Yikes.
Number 7. Ivana Trump. The Czech-American ex-wife of former President Donald Trump died on July 14th at the age of 73. Paramedics were called to the Upper East Side home over a report of cardiac arrest, but her official cause of death has not yet been confirmed. Ivana married the former US president in 1977, and they went on to have 3 children together, their daughter Ivanka and sons Eric and Don Jr. Although the couple divorced in 1992, Ivana kept her ex-husband's surname. Trump took to social media to pay tribute to her passing and wrote, "I am very saddened to inform all those that loved her, of which there are many, that Ivana Trump has passed away at her home in New York City. She was a wonderful, beautiful, and amazing woman who led a great and inspirational life." Eric Trump wrote on Instagram that his mother was a force in business, a world-class athlete, a radiant beauty, and a caring mother and friend. Number 6. Teddy Ray. The actor and comedian who was featured on MTV's Messiest and HBO's Pause with Sam J passed away on August 12th at the age of 32. The rising comedic star appeared in a number of TV shows, shorts, and stand-up specials, including Comedians and Cocktails, How to Be Broke, BSU, Black Student Union, and All Deaf Comedy, among many others. He most recently served as co-host of the Ridiculousness spin-off Messiness alongside Snooki, Tori Spelling, and Adam Rippon. All Deaf original, who Ray frequently collaborated with, wrote via Instagram, "All Deaf family, we're heartbroken and still cannot believe that our brother Teddy Ray has passed away. Teddy was the kindest person you would ever meet. He was always smiling, he had a natural ability to make anyone laugh in any situation, and his laugh was infectious. To know Teddy was to love him. Teddy is a great one and a legend at All Deaf. We will miss him every day, but we know that heaven will be laughing." Number 5. Olivia Newton-John. The Grease star died on August the 8th after a 30-year battle with breast cancer. The English-Australian singer's death at 73 years old was confirmed by her husband, John Easterling. Olivia Newton-John was best known for her portrayal of Sandy in the iconic 1978 musical Grease alongside John Travolta. Her breathy voice and wholesome beauty made her one of the biggest pop stars of the 70s. She was an incredibly talented singer first and foremost, and sold more than 100 million records over the course of her career, with hits like I Honestly Love You, Hopelessly Devoted to You, and Physical. But behind the curtain of her star-studded life, her health started to deteriorate rapidly. In 2018, Olivia revealed that she was treating cancer at the base of her spine. It was her third cancer diagnosis following bouts of breast cancer in the early 90s, and in 2017. She eventually became a fierce advocate in the fight against the disease and founded the Olivia Newton-John Cancer and Wellness Center in Melbourne. Number 4. Denise Dowse. The Beverly Hills 90210 star died at the age of 64 after being hospitalized for meningitis, which left her in a coma. Denise was well known for her portrayal of Miss Yvonne Teasley on the iconic teen drama 90210, and for playing Dr. Rhonda Pine on a HBO's Insecure, among a number of other roles in TV and films. The late actress's sister, Tracy Dowse, wrote via Instagram on August 13th, "I want to take this moment to thank our friends and family for all the love and the prayers. It is with a very heavy heart that I inform everyone that my sister, Denise Dowse, has gone forward to meet our family in eternal life." Denise Yvonne Dowse was the most amazing sister, a consummate, illustrious actress, mentor, and director. She was my very best friend and my final family member. Denise loved all of you, and I know that she's watching over us with all the love that she has. I ask for privacy and your continued prayers.
Next up is the infamous 2017 Best Picture announcement mix-up. At the very end of the ceremony, Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty took to the stage to reveal the night's big-ticket Best Picture winner. All was going smoothly until Beatty went to read the winner. He looked noticeably confused, and some wondered if he was having a hard time seeing the teleprompter. He held the card out to Dunaway, who assumed he was changing up the script and allowing her to read out the winner. She announced La La Land, and the cast and crew filed on stage to celebrate. Backstage, Academy accountants from PricewaterhouseCoopers sprung into action and alerted production that the wrong envelope had been given and that Moonlight actually had won Best Picture. Stage managers scurried on stage to correct the gaffe. So what happened? Turns out Beatty had been handed an extra Best Actress envelope, which had gone to Emma Stone from La La Land, instead of the one labeled Best Picture. A production error earlier in the day meant that they had run out of time to rehearse the last few awards prior to showtime, which could have contributed to the mistake. Oopsies. Next on the list is the 2020 Oscars, where the much-deserving film Parasite had just been announced as the Best Picture of the year. It marked the first time that a non-English language film took home the top honor. When the cast and crew headed on stage to accept the award, which was one of the 6 the movie won through the night, co-producer Kok Sin-ae first took the mic and spoke for 45 seconds before turning things over to Mikey Lee, the film's other producer. But before Lee got to deliver her speech, the lights went down on the stage and cameras focused on Jane Fonda, who was slated to deliver the night's closing remarks. The audience was instantly outraged, and stars like Tom Hanks and Charlize Theron, who were sitting in the front row, started chanting "Up, up" to persuade the showrunners to turn the attention back to Parasite. Luckily, the cheers worked and Lee was able to deliver her remarks, but it didn't stop tons of outrage from coming out in reaction to the rude dismissal. And now, finally, we come to the Oscars that were literally just held a few days ago with another big scandal. As Chris Rock took to the stage to present the award for Best Documentary, the comedian made a few jabs at Hollywood and its actors. One such jab was toward Jada Pinkett Smith, who suffers from alopecia. Basically, it was a joke aimed at her being bald, to which Jada's husband, Will Smith obviously, rushes the stage and slaps the words right out of Chris Rock's mouth. Chris was obviously super shocked, and Will Smith sat back in his seat but shouted back at Chris not to talk badly on his wife. Everyone in the crowd was super stunned, obviously. A fight has never broken out on the Oscars stage before. And it was just super sweet chicken soup for my middle-class soul.
At number 10, we have Patrick Carney. After 3 years, Michelle Branch and Patrick Carney called it quits, and Michelle Branch was then arrested over a domestic dispute with her husband, who she accused of being unfaithful. The Davidson County Sheriff's Office confirmed that Michelle was taken into custody and then released on a $1,000 bond. The singer will then be due back to court on November 7th. Just before the incident occurred, Michelle had tweeted and deleted a note 2 hours earlier claiming that the Black Keys drummer had cheated on her while she was at home caring for her 6-month-old baby. Michelle would then later address that she and Patrick were splitting, and she would also say that she was devastated and that a rug was completely pulled out from underneath her, and now she had to figure out how she could move forward. At number 9, we have Matthew Lawrence. In late August, Cheryl took to TikTok to share a video of herself and accused her ex of cheating on her. Cheryl went on to say that the guy she was seeing would never talk to his mistress again, but then she found text messages and a necklace hidden in a pair of his shoes. Cheryl then went on to write across a video in which she would suggest that Matthew had been unfaithful during their marriage. The Dancing with the Star pro would then caption the clip with the feature of Adele singing "The Last Time" from her song "When We Were Young." Cheryl would then write, "This is the last time and it's absolutely right, goodbye forever." Now Cheryl was definitely going through the blues now that her divorce was finalized, so she never did call out the cheater by name, but considered considering that she's never been with anybody else after the couple split, it's clear that Matthew cheated. Hey Peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on all the gossip to come. At number 8, we have Neo. Neo and estranged wife Crystal Renee filed for divorce, and it's alleged that Neo recently fathered a child amid cheating allegations. In August, Crystal filed paperwork and argued that she was entitled to a divorce from Neo under the grounds that their marriage is broken with no hope for fixing it, and that she knows that Neo committed the act of adultery. Crystal then went on to claim that Neo had fathered a child with his mistress. The model then alleged in a really emotional Instagram post that she endured 8 years of unknowingly sharing the musician with numerous women and that she was completely heartbroken by it. Now, Neo never came out to address the cheating rumors. However, he did say that he will never talk bad upon Crystal as she is the mother of his child, and he'll always choose to respect her because she's a fantastic woman.
Next on the list is the Oscars that took place in the year 2000. After winning Best Supporting Actress for her role in Girl Interrupted, Angelina Jolie and her brother James Haven shocked the crowd super uncomfortably when they locked lips at the Vanity Fair after party. During her acceptance speech for the role, Jolie shouted out her brother with the equally uncomfortable line, quote, "I'm in shock and I'm so in love with my brother right now. He just held me and said he loved me, and I know he's so happy for me, and thank you for that." The kiss immediately sparked headlines, which Jolie called pathetic. She later said that the siblings had been visiting their mother, who had cancer, in the hospital that day, and the kiss and declaration of love had just been part of her reaction to the day's emotional ups and downs. Next up on the docket is the time that Bjork made international headlines for her bizarre and iconic dress at the 2001 Academy Awards ceremony. While the dress certainly made a statement on its own, the quirky artist took it one step further by pretending to lay an egg on the red carpet. She had a bunch of ostrich eggs and she just left them all over the red carpet, and reportedly also left one in the women's bathroom while inside the ceremony. Her outfit was so memorable that it is now a part of an exhibit at the Museum of Modern Art. Next on the list is the 2003 Oscars, and more specifically when Michael Moore took to the stage after his win for the Best Documentary category. While we've all heard the music start to kick up when the acceptance speech goes on for a tad too long, Michael Moore was well within his time slot when he had to be cut off. That's because, like the political commentator he is, he directly attacked George W. Bush for the unnecessary invasion of Iraq. Quote, "We live in a time where we have a man sending us to a war for fictitious reasons. Shame on you, Mr. Bush, shame on you." He was met with boos from the audience and was quickly played off stage. Ironic, honestly, especially when Michael Moore was criticizing presidents long before it was okay to do so, and the same people who booed him off stage ribbed future presidents at other award shows. Just shows the shallowness of the whole thing. Next up is the 2015 Oscars when John Travolta hopped onto the Oscar stage to introduce Idina Menzel, who voiced Princess Elsa in the Disney Frozen movie. People were obsessed with Frozen during this time, and it instantly became a classic in the Disney canon. The Frozen song Let It Go had been nominated for Best Original Song, which meant that Idina would be performing the song for the ceremony. When John Travolta was set to introduce her, he inexplicably said, quote, "The wickedly talented, one and only Adele Dazeem." Travolta later said that seconds before he was set to go on stage, he ran into Goldie Hawn and missed the announcement that the producers had changed the spelling of Menzel's name on the teleprompter to a phonetic version that was supposed to be easier to pronounce. Luckily, Menzel was a pretty good sport about the whole thing. She reunited with Travolta at the next year's ceremony.
At number 3, we have Randall Emmett. Now, Randall Emmett became majorly burned after getting caught cheating by his fiancée, Lala Kent, earlier this year. When the Vanderpump Rules star wiped her Instagram clean of Emmett back in early October, many fans started to speculate something was seriously wrong. Emmett would then be accused of cheating on Lala with a couple of girls while he was in Nashville. Emmett was able to get away with cheating on Lala for so long because he was using burner Instagram accounts, and he had a burner phone that he would use to text other girls on. Now, Randall hasn't come out to confirm the allegations, but he has said he'll never talk ill about Lala because she is the mother of his 1-year-old child. At number 2, we have Matthew Rondeau. Now, Shanna Moakler posted some pretty cryptic messages about Matthew Rondeau following their breakup. The post that she would post on her Instagram story would fuel rumors that Matthew cheated on her with multiple women. Shanna would write, "Stop stressing over a guy who can't be yours because because he wants to be with everyone. Now, their breakup would come as somewhat of a surprise to fans, as Shauna has been gushing about how supportive Matthew has been with helping her create new content. Matthew would then, in a deleted Instagram story, come out to say that he would never speak to Shauna ever again, and he also claimed that she had been seeing other people while they were still together. And at number 1 today, we have Travis Scott. So last week, Instagram model Rojan Carr shared on her private story a video of Travis on set of a shoot. This video would start speculation that the two have met up. Now, Travis would come out to say that a lot of weird things were happening and going on, and that an uninvited person showed up on his set, and that fans needed to stop telling fictional stories. Now, Rojan would then come out to say that everyone is aware that he and her have been seeing each other, and in recent times they have been together, and that he cheats on Kylie every single night. The model then went on to note that she was even with Travis on Valentine's Day, and when she ran out, Travis had every girl blowing up her phone to get her to come back. As sources claim that Kylie is so sick of hearing about Travis cheating accusations, and she loves him, but she's sick of his commitment issues.